Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Varsity Aces show. My name is Darren Cooper, a local sports columnist on NorthJersey.com. And tonight we are talking about the big game in North Jersey this week. It's the NJIC Super Bowl VI. No, they don't really call it that or anything. I don't think they've ever come up with a good name for it, honestly. It's just the North Jersey Interscholastic Conference Championship game, the sixth year. Before we bring on our guests, we've got guests from both teams competing in the championship game tonight, from Rutherford and Park Ridge. The game is Friday at 6 in Rutherford. Before we get to our first guest, I want to quiz you a little bit on the history of the NJIC. If you don't know, the NJIC is largely Group 1 and 2 schools made up in North Jersey, and they came up with a great idea a couple years ago to make their division winners all play games against one another at the end of the season, kind of save the last 2 weeks of the regular season to play. And it's been one of the best football games in North Jersey the last couple of years. The first championship game was Heights and Pompton Lakes. Hasbrook Heights won 14-13. In 2017 was the championship game number 2, and it was a good one. Rutherford beat Hasbrook Heights 14-7 in overtime. I think Steve Dunn might know a little bit about that game. NJIC Super Bowl III, Heights got their revenge on Rutherford. Josiah Purdy went wild in a 48-24 win. In the NJIC championship game number 4 in 2018, it was the Peter Partilla show as Lyndhurst beat Park Ridge 34-12. I'm sorry, Tom, we'll have to bring that up. And then just last year, man, one of the biggest games in a long time, as Beckton beat Waldwick Midland Park 41-12 to win the NJIC title. And that game notable because Beckton had entered that game having not given up a point in the COVID-shortened season. So again, that sets the stage for Friday night. It's the NJIC championship game number 6. Maybe it's the David Frazier Bowl. Maybe we should call it that. And it'll pit Park Ridge and Rutherford. And joining me first from Park Ridge is Owls coach Tom Curry and quarterback Matthew Manning. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good. How's it going, Darren?
It's good, Tom. It's good, Matthew. How you been?
Very good.
I guess the first thing, Tom, was that about as thrilling a victory as you could ever have, the way y'all won that semifinal game? If you don't know, the Owls went forward in overtime on a 2-point play and were successful, beating Hasbrook Heights 22-21. Tom, are you still talking about that, or how are you? How euphoric was it for the guys?
At the time, it was definitely one of the best feelings that we've had in my tenure as a coach there. It's been one of the better games that we've been a part of, an unbelievable finish. And we enjoyed it. We celebrated. We loved it, every minute of it. But then we flip the switch and we move on to trying to hopefully have a great game against Rutherford.
Tom, when I talked to you early in the season, preseason, you kind of said, we might be okay. But has this team even exceeded your expectations a little bit?
They have not exceeded my expectations because I fully expected this out of them. They have a great senior class, obviously led by Matt, who's going to be on the meeting right now, and a large senior class, 12 kids we have, and a lot of them have been battle tested throughout the course of their careers. Kyle Bratcher, Andre Bascapan, Aiden Giacomelli, a lot of really good kids who have been through the gauntlet here and there. So, I kind of expected it. I think other people might have thought it might be a down year for us, but I kind of hoped that we would be in this situation.
I don't know who you're talking about. I might have thought it was a down year. I have no idea. You know what, though? You bring up something I hear from coaches all the time. Matthew, I'll be with you in just a second. How does being a senior translate into success on the field, Tom? Because I hear that a lot. But we're seniors, or we're not seniors. What's better about being a senior than being a sophomore?
I think it's just the developmental aspect, and it's not just physically; it's mentally.
Okay.
It's the lineman who understands his assignments better. It's the running back and wide receiver and quarterback, even though our quarterback's a sophomore. But it's everybody who understands what it means to be better at that certain period of time. And thankfully, we've had a bunch of kids who have played since sophomore year for us. And they've done a great job, and they realize that it's their time. And that's kind of the senior aspect. It's our time to shine. They want to prove it. And this group has been great about that.
All right, let's bring on Park Ridge Senior Matthew Manning. Matthew, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm going to ask you the question that everyone in North Jersey has been whispering about. You know what the question is?
I think I know.
Did you catch the football, Matthew?
Yes, I did catch the football.
Well, then talk me through the play then. I mean, hands under the ball, talk me through those 30 seconds.
Yeah, so the play was designed to go to me. It was supposed to go to the front of the goal line, but the corner was there, so I kind of maneuvered my way to the back of the end zone. Cole made a good throw, a little wobbly pass, but you got it there. A little short, but I was able to get my hands underneath it, and I rolled over and maintained the ball. So then I got up, the ref called a touchdown, and I went crazy.
Matt, have you watched the video of the play yourself? Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
And what do you see then? What do you notice when you watch the replay?
I see that I caught the ball, but I see how people may think that I dropped it, but I caught the ball. I got my hands underneath it.
Did you do slow-mo replay? You want to confirm this?
Oh, 1,000%. It was a catch all the way. And actually, somebody had a really good angle from the back end. I don't know if it was one of your guys or somebody else had a really good angle.
Tartaglia Scott was from the sideline.
Yes. So somebody had a good end zone angle. And listen, Matt's been a great player for us for a couple of years. And he's a very honest kid. So when he says he catches the ball, I know he caught the ball.
All right, Matthew, what do you remember about the Lyndhurst championship game 2 years ago?
I remember it wasn't a very good feeling. I started both ways, actually, because we had a couple guys sick on offense. I usually started on defense, but I was a starting running back that game. Didn't really go our way. Obviously, we lost 34-12. It was close at halftime, but like you said, we got beat down pretty good. But I want to do something special with this group of seniors. I think we are capable of doing that on Friday night.
Matthew, I'm going to ask Coach you the same question. We've had 5 NJIC championships, and one of the things that's been talked about is it's been all these South Bergen teams have won. It's been the Route 17 corridor. Are you aware of that? Does that matter to you at all, that you have a chance to kind of be the first Northern Bergen County team to win this championship?
Yeah, I did see that we could be the first team north of Route 46 to win the NJIC title. And it means a lot to me just because I've been in this position for the 4th year now, and we haven't been able to bring it home. So I'm just hoping we could bring it home on Friday night.
When did you start playing football, Matthew?
I started 1st grade. Started playing flag football 1st and 2nd grade, and then from 3rd grade to now, I've just been tackle.
And then since you're in Park Ridge, you must play other sports, right?
Yes. I played basketball my freshman and sophomore year, and then I played baseball all throughout high school.
I gotcha. Now let's talk a little bit about Rutherford. On film, Matthew, maybe you haven't looked at him too much yet, but what's the first thing that strikes you when you've seen Rutherford on film? Y'all haven't played, which is interesting, but what strikes you about Rutherford, first impression?
Well, they could run the ball, definitely, and they can also pass the ball. They got a good running back. They got a good quarterback, too. You could throw the ball well. So I think we just got to stop the run and pass and then just play gritty football.
All right, this is Varsity Aces show. I'm local sports columnist Darren Cooper. We're talking about the NJIC final between Park Ridge and Rutherford. In just a little bit, we'll have Rutherford coach Steve Dunn and quarterback Van Weber on. But right now, we're talking to Park Ridge senior Matthew Manning and Owls coach Tom Curry. Same question, though, now, Tom. When you look at Rutherford, what scares you about them? This is the chance where you hype them up because they're listening on the other side. So what do you see on Rutherford when you watch them, Tom?
Very well coached. Good team on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, special teams especially. And I think Matt said it well. They pass the ball well. They run the ball well. So on both sides of the ball, we're going to have to be really disciplined and make sure that we're doing the right thing at all times. But I think it's going to be one heck of a ball game. I think both teams are very evenly matched. So, I think a big play here or there could really decide the game.
I hate to bring this up, but have you looked ahead to the weather forecast? Because I think it's not supposed to be so great maybe Friday.
I did. However, everybody said it was going to be awful today.
Yeah.
And we got to practice outside the whole entire time without rain. So, yes, we'll look ahead a little bit, but I don't think rain hurts or helps anybody at this point in time. Two real good teams battling it out. I think it'll be a great matchup.
All right, last question for you, Matthew, which is, when did the feeling start? What has the feeling started to take root, especially after what happened Friday night? Like, this is something really special. Holy smoke, we're undefeated. We're ranked in the top 5 in North Jersey, and we got a chance to win the first title. You know, is that feeling starting to like really sink in practice in the team?
Yeah, I could definitely see it in practice with just the guys. This group of seniors is very special. We've been through thick and thin together all throughout the years, through rec football and through high school. And we've been through many battles, and we've been in this spot before, but we haven't been able to execute. And so we're hoping to execute on Friday night and bring home the NJIC title to Park Ridge. So,
all right, and Coach, execution, right? It's going to come down to execution, right? Two good teams. It's always execution. Maybe who makes a mistake at the wrong time.
Yeah, no, 100%. And just like Matt said, you know, this group of seniors has been a part of something special for 4 years, and I think they kind of want to put their seal on something that other people haven't. Yeah. So we'll see, but it definitely can come down to execution, turnovers, and who has the ball last. It might come down to the game on that.
It could. Guys, it was great having a few minutes to talk to you tonight. We will see you on Friday, but get back, study your game plan. And Tom, thank you for your time. Matt, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you, Darren.
All right, now we're going to flip the page to the homestanding dogs, as the PA announcer called them so often at Tryon Field. Rutherford coach Steve Dunn and quarterback Van Weber. Van and Steve, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Darren. How
doing well.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you for spending a little time with us. Steve, do you want to reflect? Do you want to tell me a little bit about 2017, 2018? Did you think back at those games at all? Remember those championship games at all?
I'd rather talk to you about 2017 than 18.
But honestly, Steve, how fun is it to be involved in this and have a league that puts together something like this that gives you a championship at the end? I mean, I'm sure it's a theme you're going to talk about. This is a special moment. We have a chance to be home. We have a chance to win a conference championship. This is rare in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have. And let me put it this way. I've been fortunate enough to coach in 3 games at MetLife and 2 of these championship games for the NJIC. And these championship games are as special as moments that I've ever had as a coach. Yeah. So both those games, you're still in a high school stadium. You still get that high school feel. And how they structured this, I think, is phenomenal. And now you're here talking about the teams at the top, which I guess by nature you do. But how they structure it, the teams at the bottom, the 5th place teams are playing the other 5th place teams and so on and so forth. So you get competitive games throughout your schedule the last 2 weeks of the regular season, which is great.
But Van, I want to flip over to you. You would have been a freshman in 2018, unfortunately, when they got beat. Were you there? Were you watching? Were you at that game?
Yeah, I was a fan growing up, and I was always at the Rutherford games. I was at the 17 game, the 18 game, and just being part of that environment in the stands and watching everything go down is just a great feeling. This program has had a lot of success, and it was an honor to be a part of that and be in the stands watching that unfold.
So, Van, I had a chance to talk to Pat Cerulli earlier this year. It's your outstanding running back linebacker when he was athlete of the week. You guys are not undefeated. You lost to Hasbrook Heights in the first week of the season.
Yep.
And I remember Pat telling me a really interesting story about Coach saying, we're not losing any big ones anymore. So explain to me, that mindset change that went on in that locker room and that huddle after you all lost to Hasbrook Heights.
Well, this group of kids has been in a lot of tight games, especially last year. We were in a lot of tight games and didn't really come down with much. But this year, we felt was our chance to come down with them. We had a close game with Hawthorne, close game with Waldwick, and we came down with both of them. Obviously, after the Heights game, we were devastated, and we knew we had to turn it on if we wanted to win the football games.
So what's been the key to success for this team in this run now, Van?
I really think the bond that we have is a big part of it. Off the field, we're all really close friends. We do a lot together. And I just feel like that's a big part of it. I practice, just being around your boys is a great feeling. And off the field even is just, you can't beat it.
All right, but come on the field, Van. Come on the field. What's worked on the field?
Well, our versatility, just having a great O-line, having great skill, great running back, all around, having great guys around you is awesome, especially Pat Cerulli, a kid that makes plays all over the field. It's great to have him by my side.
And Cole, don't forget about Cole. Cole made
Cole
the big
Gumas, my boy Cole Gumas, yep.
I don't want to leave him out. You're watching the Varsity Aces show. I'm local sports columnist Darren Cooper. We're talking about the NJIC championship game, which will feature Park Ridge at Rutherford Friday night. And we're talking to Rutherford coach Steve Dunn and Bulldogs quarterback Van Weber. Steve, is there a little advantage to being at home? Is it maybe just a little easier? Like, hey, we'll order from the usual shop. We're kind of the same routine, for us to be home.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
100%. We'd much rather play at Tryon Field than go on the road at every game. And we have an opportunity, if we do win this one, where we won't leave Tryon Field, and we should have a pretty good chance to get a 1 seed. So the kids all know that, and we talk about that playing at home a lot.
All right, let's flip the page a little bit and talk a little bit about your opponent now, Steve. Park Ridge. We just talked to Matt Manning. We just talked to Coach Tom Curry. The thing I've been hearing about Park Ridge all year is they are unusually big for a Group 1 school. Is that accurate? What have you seen?
It's an understatement.
Is it really?
Yeah. They're very big. They're big. They're not just big, though. They're physical. They're well-coached. The kid Manning you had on, very impressive. Yeah. Very, very impressive. And it's not just him. There's guys all over the field. The sophomore quarterback that Tom brought up, he could throw the ball. All around, they're a very good team. It's hard to cheat to one thing to try to stop it, because they'll pick you off in another area of the game.
All right. Well, talk to me a little bit about your quarterback who's on the screen over here. What have you seen in his development over the years here, Steve? And how important is he Friday night? He's big. He's going to be big Friday night.
Van has to be the man.
Okay.
Very, very simple. Rain, shine, doesn't matter. What we have at Rutherford, we do have athletes. Van mentioned our versatility. He's when Van puts the ball in the right spots, our kids will catch him. And Van's done a pretty good job this year. And we're going to lean on him. I'll tell you that, because if we won't turn one-dimensional on Friday night. That's a promise.
All right, Van. I don't need to know the game plan, but what do you hope to be able to, what do you think will be the keys to your execution? This is the part where you would say, Mr. Cooper, we have to try to really establish a run, open it up a little bit, throw the ball a little bit. What do you think y'all have to do execution-wise?
Well, Park Ridge playing a man defense, I think that we're going to have to create space on the outside and make some plays in the passing game. Against Waldock, we had some.
Hold on. Shock. Quarterback wants to make plays in the passing game? I can't believe it. Like groundbreaking stuff here, Van. But go ahead.
In the Waldock game, I had some open guys, but missed them by the slightest bit. But this week, we can't have any of that. We need to come down with them. I need to make my throws. We need to make the catches. And I think we should be good. All
right, Steve, last thing is same thing I said to Tom, right? Execution and limiting mistakes, right? That's what it's going to come down to.
It's what it always does. I've been telling my group since day one, I'm never worried about our team's effort and energy in the game. They always give us everything they have. But when we execute, we're pretty tough to beat. So it truly is. I know it's kind of cliche, but it just comes down to doing your job and trusting the guy next to you to do theirs.
Well, it should be a fantastic night at Tryon Field in Rutherford. 6 o'clock kickoff. The Varsity Aces will be there in force, en masse, for NJIC Championship game number 6, pitting Rutherford and Park Ridge. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. I got to make a pick, though, now after this. So you guys can maybe skedaddle. But, Van, it was great talking to you. Steve and Van, I will see you guys Friday night. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, and that leads me to the weekly pick segment. I've been working really hard crunching the numbers. I am coming off arguably my worst week of high school football picks. Ridgewood beating Ramapo kind of messed me up. And Wayne Valley, though, beating Wayne Hill. That was a good win for the Indians. And remember, you can check out all of my picks on NorthJersey.com and in the Record Legacy product, what we call the newspaper. But right now, you and me, let's start our Pick 5 segment. And we're going to start with the NJIC championship game. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I'm going to talk about this game right after interviewing folks from Park Ridge and Rutherford. It occurs to me that there are times when teams can just start to play even better than their sum of their parts because they start to believe a little bit more. And I look at this game and I think it will be two good teams. We talked a little bit about Rutherford's Pat Cerulli, just an outstanding Group 1, Group 2 football player. I hope he makes all county. He could play on my team anytime he wants. Matt Manning from Park Ridge, and you heard him say, you know, we've been building toward this for a while, and it does matter to the Owls that no team north of Route 46 has won this game. And I just got a feeling that coming off their win over Hasbrook Heights, the way it happened with the dramatic win, that Park Ridge just doesn't think they're going to lose. If the game is close at the end, and I think it might be, I do think Park Ridge finds a way to win it at the end. So my pick in the NJIC championship game, it might come back to bite me, but I am going with the Park Ridge Owls. And now let's flip the game 2 on my slate, Ridgewood and Hackensack. I just talked about the Maroons. How does Ridgewood go from not scoring a point against Irvington to hanging 47 on state-ranked Ramapo? Beats the heck out of me. But I will proceed and say that looking at this matchup, first of all, you have a great mano-a-mano matchup here with Ridgewood linebacker Joe Grasso and Hackensack standout running back Curtis White. That is going to be a fantastic matchup, a game within the game. And Hackensack's, I know they're 3-5, but I think they're better. You know, they play such a good schedule. I think they're better than people think. I think they're better than their record indicates. But again, I'm going to go with the hot team. You know, Ridgewood's got to be feeling good after beating Ramapo, 47 points. They seem they might be finally putting it together. So my pick will be Ridgewood. Next game, Friday night, a non-public battle, Seton Hall Prep and DePaul. So I was in West Orange Saturday to see the thrilling contest between Bergen Catholic and Seton Hall Prep. Seton Hall Prep was impressive. I mean, they were just super impressive. DePaul still hanging in there. I still think when all said and done, DePaul might be the second best team in the state. But I just haven't seen the Spartans offense grow to the degree that I like right now. They should be scoring more points than they have been. I think Seton Hall Prep, good quarterback, good running back, good enough defense. And so I think my pick in this one on the road, I like the Pirates. I like Seton Hall Prep to beat DePaul. Game 4, hey, talk about wearing special night. Ramsey and Pascack Valley, they're having a Wear Purple night in memory of the great former Ramsey athletic director Jim Grasso and my personal friend. They're encouraging people to wear purple for pancreatic cancer. This is a sneaky good game. Pascack Valley has played good football all year. Ramsey, though, has just scored points in bunches. They have a chance to go undefeated in the regular season for the first time. You'll have to wait and read it online, but I have it written down. I did my research. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to go with Ramsey to beat Pascack Valley. And then Saturday, Bergen Catholic and St. Peter's Prep. So Bergen Catholic now, they are undefeated. Do they have a chance to run the table and be the first Big Six team to go undefeated since 2011? They do. But they're going to have to go through St. Peter's Prep. You know, when I handicap like the Big Six matchups, and I've even talked to the coaches about this over the years, there are games that come up on the schedule that you reflect on what happened in the most recent meeting, and you're like, there's just no way Team X is losing to Team Y again. Like, I didn't think there was any way Bosco was going to beat Bergen Catholic this year after what happened last year. Bergen Catholic was going to be totally locked in to beat Don Bosco, and they did, 17-0. Maybe we'll get a rematch. We'll see. And now it's almost the exact flip side now for Bergen Catholic, as they're going to face the St. Peter's Prep team, who definitely remembers what happened at the end of last season, as the Crusaders kind of ruined St. Peter's chance to finish number 1 and ended the career of Marauders coach Rich Hansen with a loss out in Oradell. What I remember about that game was just Peters just didn't execute down the stretch. So everything in my sports writer's hockey jersey spider sense is tingling that, man, St. Peter's Prep is poised to win this game. It's cave in point. They've got the players. They righted the ship after a little bit of a midseason losing spell. And besides, chaos. Well, high school football is no fun in North Jersey unless we have chaos. And it would be chaos if St. Peter's Prep won. So all of those reasons tell me to pick St. Peter's Prep. But will I do it? No, I just can't do it. Bergen Catholic's just too talented. I am a little worried, though, that they are a little beat up. It's been 2 tough games for them. But when push comes to shove, my pick for Saturday will be Bergen Catholic. Ooh, that's a tough one. That'll wrap things up here on the Varsity Aces show for this week. Man, I want to thank our guest, Park Ridge coach Tom Curry, and his star senior Matthew Manning, and Van Weber, Rutherford quarterback, and coach Steve Dunn. I'm sure they are watching now and reflecting on my picks, and I might get a little grief on the silence at Tryon Field, but that'll be fun. That's all part of the game. So for all of us at the Varsity Aces show, for my beautiful digital producer, Mike Pedagano, behind the scenes, thank you so much. Remember, let the coaches coach, the players play, and the officials officiate. Let the Varsity Aces tell you what you need to know.